Some of you might know me as a former shop steward from Laurelton. Some of you might not know me at all. Um, but I am running in this election because I have a great concern about how 804 is being run and how it has been run ever since I've been here. I feel that 804 has never really worked for its members. And what I mean by that is that, sure, you see your business agents in the building, you see your president around, you have parking lot meetings, you see their faces, but what are they doing for your average member? How are they engaging people who have never been engaged in the union before? You know that there's a great disconnect from what you hear at the meetings, what you read online, and the reality of what's occurring inside these buildings every day. There's harassment. There's a very aggressive tone taken by the company. It's totally different from what you hear outside where someone tells you, this is what you have to do. When you go in there, you're met with a different beast. So that's what I talk about when I talk about the union working for the membership. How do we engage these people who have never been engaged? How do we better represent these people who are just simply not represented? We intend to bridge that gap. And the way we intend to do that is by bringing respect back to this union. And when I talk about respect, I talk about our union's image, how our union is looked at not just by the company, but by its membership, and how it conducts itself as a union. So this is a way that we better represent everybody and bring them into this fold that we have. When I talk about representation and what that means, a lot of people think of a lot of different things. When I think of union representation, I think of it as the buck is going to stop with you. If your guy coming down from your union who you pay dues to can't resolve your issues with the company, he's not doing his job. He's simply not doing what you're paying him to do. Anybody can get a megaphone and yell and shout, put on a nice show, but the buck stops with the guy going into that building, going into that office and dealing with that management person, getting a favorable outcome for the member. This is what you pay for. This is why you pay union dues. This is why you're involved in the union. And you could talk to any member and they'll tell you, oh, the union, they can't do nothing for you. You're only going to get yourself in trouble dealing with them. Or you're going to put in a grievance. Oh, watch what happens after that. They're going to harass you. They're going to come after you. That's the consensus of what you hear from a lot of the membership. There's a small vocal minority that knows that's not the case, but we have failed in my whole career to bridge that gap between the members that'll tell you that the union's not going to do nothing for you and the ones that are active. So part of that going back to is respect. If you can't look at your representation as somebody who commands respect and who will go in there and take care of issues when you need them taken care of, no one's going to engage themselves. The same old people are, and everybody else is going to fall through the cracks. We need to reach those brothers. We need to reach a hand out to those brothers and pull them up, because that's the only way we're going to grow as a membership. It's the only way we're going to attract new members, and it's very important for our local. Members first is an important principle. When we go back to Ron Carey, who ran for the International Union in 1996, you can still see some of his stickers floating around the building, and you see that was his slogan, members first. And it is a very important rallying cry, because what that means to us is that we're putting the members first. And that's our only goal, and the only thing that we're concerned about is putting the members first, not political campaigns, not rallying for a different cause or looking at something outside this union. This is about the 804 members and putting those members first. And it hasn't been done ever since I've been here. I've seen, if it's with the administration that came in right about when I came in, that unfortunately I was a victim of their political games, and I was walked out of my building for an illegal strike that they pulled. And the thing is the strike was good, and it was the correct sentiment. When we were out there, not a guy out there said they didn't want to be there. But what happened after was a travesty. It was a joke. You've seen 250 guys, jobs hung in the balance, and it was politics. It was politics. And that's going back, that's not what we pay for. It's not what we pay union dues for, to have our jobs dangled like a carrot on a string in front of us, to see the company get such a strong upper hand on our guys. And you see when the guys realized they were getting fired and the union didn't have anything to say or was unable to resolve it. It was all, the faith in the union was just crushed. And a lot of guys have still, to this day, not recovered that faith. And we see it happening again now with the incident that just happened in the Laurelton building with the part-timers that were put on the street again for 2 weeks, just like we were. And I've seen a lot of circus. I've seen a lot of grandstanding, a lot of campaigning for something, a cause other than the people's jobs and the families and the people who are out on the street there. And if we don't change this, our local is going to be treading water forever. We're not going to move forward. We're not going to grow. We're not going to bring our local to the level of respect that I know a lot of people see some other unions have, where you'll say, oh, my buddy, he works for the steam fitters, or he works for the plumbers union. And they don't even deal with the company. They just deal straight with their union. The union deals with the company. And a lot of guys say, you know, that's a strong union. And we can get 804 there, but we have to stop repeating all the transgressions of our past. And we need a new way forward. And our team can deliver a new way forward. And we have a plan, and we have a formula where we can bring this local and elevate it to a new level that no one's ever seen. So I know a lot of people may be skeptical about it and say, well, you're talking a lot of talk, but what can you do? And I say, what do you have to lose, man? You know, it's been the same way. And ask a guy who's got 30 years. He'll tell you about the leadership way in the past that had some balls, okay, that had real balls, that if that guy went in the office and you were in trouble and he walked in there, you were going right to your truck. You weren't getting walked out. You weren't getting drugged through the mud by the company, treated with disrespect, treated undignified. You weren't getting that treatment. When that guy went in there, that was it. It was over, okay? Because the manager had the guts to call your 804 down there, okay? When you got to the building, he knew he screwed up, because then he didn't want to deal with you, because he knew what he was getting with 804. And we had to get back to that, because if we don't, we could have much left in a couple of years. We're going to have a two-tier membership. You're going to have the scared majority who's afraid of losing their jobs, and you're going to have the small minority that, you know, for whatever reason is treated differently, and that's not what a union's about. A union's about equality and democracy, and that's what we need to get back to. Ryan Kelly, and it's important that you vote for Members First this November. It's not about me, it's about the team. I can't do nothing by myself. With my team together, we can do great things for this local. And I'd appreciate your vote this November.